Cek.
The Excellencies, Head of Institute for Research and Community Empowerment, UIN Syarif Hidayatullah Jakarta, Professor Amelia Fauzia, MA, PhD.
The Honorable Secretary of Institute for Research and Community Empowerment, UIN Syarif Hidayatullah Jakarta, Mr. Fatuddin M.A. Hum, MH.
Respected participants, presenters, and guests of the 6th ICONIST 2023. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, Salam Kebajikan.
Here, we are welcoming you to the closing of the 6th ICONIST 2023. We are truly grateful for finishing almost all sequences of this wonderful conference.
All praise be upon Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, our Almighty God, who has blessed us and gathered us back around here in the closing of this 6th ICONIST conference.
We would love to have a heartfelt closing remarks from the Head of Institute for Research and Community Empowerment, UIN Syarif Hidayatullah Jakarta, Professor Amelia, MA, PhD. Please welcome.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Saya ngadep yang mana? Sana. Peace be upon you. Dear participants, professors, students, and all of participants of the ICONIST, the 6th ICONIST conference. First, for these 2 days, we had experienced a kind of very dynamic conference that not only meet one each other, but also we have learned a lot from this conference. So there are few things that I would like to address for this closing. The first is, I think some of you have already had an idea. Religion still matters. This is our big theme of the conference. And from all of the speakers, mostly, they agree that, yes, religion still matters in the era of this globalization, the era of artificial intelligence, the era of disruptive technology, etc. So this is one important point that shared by most of our keynote speakers, plenary speakers, and other presenters. Another point to say that how religion still matters in this time of globalization. Professor Hefner, if I recall, mentioned that actually some of the experts see, especially in the Middle East and some of Southeast Asian communities, see that there is a pessimistic thought, pessimistic opinion that religion could what do you say? Religion could be adapted to the modern era, especially for in facing the democracy, the challenge of democracy. Especially in Middle East, some experts say that, well, now many new democracies has been declined, and but what happened to Indonesia? At least some of the scholars said that, Prof. Hefner said that he is quite optimistic with the democracy in Indonesia because of the role of religion. Yeah. Do you want to make applause of that? Yeah. Yeah. Because, of course, there is a challenge, but some people see that religious communities could contribute unintendedly with the conflict, let's say. But on the other side, religion could also become a source of peace, source of harmonious society, source of development. This is, I must stress again, source of development. So this, within a number of panels, we can see there is a potential, highly potential, that the religion could become important source for development, important source for democracy, for the peace and harmony and sustainable future of the world. So this is very good, very positive opinion. But of course, we need to do a lot. Yes, religion could be a very powerful source for the development, for the peace, but scholars have a lot of homework to do. Yeah, because if we only just sit here without doing cooperation, without doing a lot of advocacy, it's maybe our democracy will, our religion will become not so positive for the development. So this is a very important point from a number of presentations that we have in this conference. The third point, from the last session, previously we had a session here on interreligious dialogue by scholars. It's a very good session, very good panel to end up our conference. Maybe I will ask later on a few comments, both from Professor Fernando and Professor Jule. Also, your impression about this conference. Because one of the points that we discussed before, that scholars, I think I quote you, Prof. Fernando, scholars could be the agent of social transformation. So here we are. Yeah, what we do, what our research should aim to for social transformation, for a sustainable future. And scholars can serve as role models. Oh yeah, you. Scholars can serve as role model to society on the application of critical thinking, from Prof. Jule. So I quoted this very important point of the role of scholars. Peran sebagai ilmuwan, the role of scholars. Also the role of students, because you are future scholars, right? So it is very important point. So our conference does not only stop to the publication of articles or books, etc., but also continue for a kind of platform to for us, the scholars, to meet again and then to discuss and then to act for a betterment of society. Okay, I think I will, if I might invite Prof. Jule first or Prof. Fernando first. to say a few words, yeah, to say a few words about their impression of this conference and your future, your hopes for what next. First, I will invite Professor Zulkifli. He is the Dean of Faculty of Islamic Studies in the University of the Philippines. We are in the process of having a collaboration with the University of Philippines, and his expertise has been very, very great for the study of Islam and also the interreligious dialogue in Southeast Asia. If I may give you a time, please. Please give applause.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Thank you very much for ICONIST for inviting us here in the Philippines. In particular, we thanks Professor Amelia and Professor Myla for inviting us here in Jakarta. Now we observe that UIN is on or engaged in a transformation. I think I could see the difference when I visited UIN many years ago. I think I visited twice or thrice, and I could feel the energy. Even if I have not yet visited UIN, we're still planning to visit tomorrow if it will proceed. If not, then maybe in the future. But I can feel the energy of UINs trying to engage in social transformation. And that's very positive because, you know, Indonesia is a big country with big population. And it is amazing that Indonesia has now become almost like a model by other countries because of the development that you now have, and probably you can see it or you can feel it because it's just normal or natural for you because you live in Indonesia. But I can compare in terms of my observation in my previous visits. Every time I come to Jakarta, I always see something new. I was in Banda Aceh late last year, and also in Bali, also early this year, and also in Borneo or Kuta Kinabalu in Malaysia. I can feel that there is a new trend in Indonesia that is emerging, and this should be reflected in universities like UIN, the faculty, and students. And now I just witness how quite intellectually active our faculty and students. Last time, some students are quite shy, but now you are very much engaging. You're raising questions. These are signs of empowerment. It only means that you have gained confidence, and this is very important because the youth of Indonesia will be the leaders of the country and even the region that Professor Usman Bakar has spoken a while ago. It's true that we are coming up with MOU with UIN, with the University of the Philippines, and De La Salle University, and University of Santo Tomas. And we will also be sending students to do graduate studies here in UIN. In fact, one of my co-faculty is already here. I just do not know what university he has enrolled, but he informed me that he is already enrolled in one university here in Jakarta. In fact, he would like to visit me tomorrow. So in other words, the direction has now changed. I still remember my Indonesian friends in the late 80s and 90s. They used to come to the University of the Philippines to study. Now they have decreased in number because probably they changed to Australia and Europe, or to some extent to the Middle East. And now Philippine students are the ones coming to Indonesia to study. It only shows that there is a change. There is now a transformation in Indonesia. You've now regained your standing as the leader of the Nusantara, the old Nusantara. So it's not incidental that you will be building a new city called Nusantara, because at one point, the Sriwijaya in the Majapahit were strong empires based here in Indonesia. So you are rebuilding your standing as a nation, and we are happy for you. And therefore, your role in the university as faculty and as students are very important. There's just one concern. It is connected to the imagined fear that I mentioned earlier in our discussion. The observation, why is it that there are quite a number of Christians who are studying Islam, and they have become experts as Islamicists and Islamologists and Orientalists, but we hardly see Muslims studying Christianity, right? So it is something that we have to ask. When we speak of interreligious dialogue, we really have to reflect on ourselves. So what is that fear that restrains us in embracing the other? When in fact, the Prophet informed us or told us to learn even of new knowledge, even if it is in China. And by learning others, we do not necessarily convert. In fact, in my view, that would even strengthen ourselves, our faith, right? But because of the need to understand the other, so we have to embrace them, and including the understanding of their faith traditions. I know it is easier said than done. I have already mentioned the case of Muslims in the Philippines. Until now, we don't have experts on Christian theology or Christian philosophy. Just to dramatize this point, I have a priest friend. This is for Fernando. He was a priest in the university. Then for some reason, he wanted to study Arabic. So he enrolled at the Institute of Islamic Studies. And I became one of his faculty, his teachers. He was already old. He was already more than 70 years old. Then for some reason, he embraced Islam. This priest embraced Islam. To cut the story short, he passed away. He got married, he passed away. Then his wife called me. what are we going to do with this sultana, the priest, the clothing for the priest? Because he's already a Muslim, but he still has his sultana, the one that the priest wears. So I told the wife, give it to the church. So he gave that robe to the church. Then another day, she called me, how about this book? What are we going to do with these books? I said, call the library to get those books, but the librarian only get few books, maybe around 5 or 6 Islamic books. Because he was a priest, he has many books about Christianity. So I said, well, because we are friends, I can house temporarily his books. So we got all his books and put them in my house. My children cannot already walk inside because it's already full of books. But I realized if I will get a PhD in Christian theology or Christian philosophy, I already have my sources. Because the Bibles, the number of Bibles, more than 10 Bibles. And I also have collections of Bibles, making my Bibles probably around 20 copies of Bibles. So if I will write something on Christianity, I already have the source. It's like I almost have the library. That's why I asked the question to the UST. Would they allow a Muslim to take a theology class that is prepared for becoming a priest? So, to cut the story short, I did not get a positive response. But what I'm saying is we should not be afraid in learning the other, because that is something enriching for us. Learning new knowledge is good for us. And that would mean a lot, especially if we want to give real essence to interfaith dialogue. So again, I'm happy for UIN, for the faculty and students who are now becoming more active as leaders of Indonesia in the future, inshallah. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Prof. Jul. This is really very strong message to end our ICONIST conference about the brave to study. Because our conference entitled is like Interreligious Studies, Science and Technology. So we have one more professor here, Professor Fernando. We would like to ask you to give also some concluding or appreciate, impression and hopes. About 4 to 5 minutes, please.
Magandang hapon sa inyong lahat. Good afternoon. I would like to reiterate the gratitude expressed by Professor Julkip Liwadi to Professor Amelia and Professor Myla for the welcome that they extended to us. It is definitely an honor to have participated in this world-class conference. The selection of the venue, is excellent. The venue has been very comfortable and well equipped, and again, modern and world-class. Regarding the conference itself, I enjoyed the plenary sessions that I attended, and the speakers came from diverse backgrounds and from different parts of the world. Okay, so not only from Southeast Asia, but we had plenary speakers from Australia, the United States, Europe, and the Middle East. So the diversity of speakers and the world-class caliber of scholarship expressed in the plenary sessions was truly outstanding. I have the same to say for the parallel sessions, which were very informative. Well, the last parallel session was the session in which I and Professor Jul Kipli were involved, and it was a session on the interfaith dialogue. And what struck me the most was the enthusiasm expressed by members of the audience, particularly the students, in engaging in discourse, intellectual discourses on matters concerning society, okay, but from different religious vantage points. And to me, as Professor Jul Kipli also mentioned earlier, it's a very good sign, okay? It is, you could sense this positive energy. And coming from the youth, it is a good indicator of where this nation is headed. The national hero of the Philippines, Dr. Jose Rizal, once said that the youth is the hope of the motherland. And I think that in the case of Indonesia, through the guidance of institutions like the UIN, then indeed the youth of Indonesia will be the hope of Indonesia. So congratulations to the organizers, okay, and congratulations to the UIN for a very successful conference.
Thanks so much, Prof. Fernando. I forgot to introduce him. He is director of the Southeast Asia Research Hub. Yeah, in the De La Salle University, yeah, in the Philippines. Okay, thank you so much for two of you. Another thing I would like to mention is the result of this conference. Prof. Jul and Prof. Fernando already mentioned about what we achieved, some of things, and also I think the knowledge that we share now about the importance role of religion in a changing society, this is a very important point that we got. Another thing is the publications. So congratulations for those who are the presenters. Yeah, let's give applause for the presenters. Thank you so much for your contribution. I picked some of the presentation. It's very dynamic and a lot of new studies. And then we hope that you send the revision of your paper for the proceeding and for the article for publication. And we also would like to have a book, edited book, out of this conference. So hopefully Prof. Jul and Prof. Fernando also would like to join for the publication. That's all. And one more point, the result of our conference is a kind of agreement to have a consortium for the interreligious dialogue and the research. And this is not only for the scholars, for the lecturer, but also for students. Yeah, and the student also, what's your name? Yeah, I forgot. Ria Reynaldi will initiate a platform that will engage students from De La Salle, from the University of the Philippines, also maybe from Malaysia, and uinjkt Jakarta to engage with research together and many other social activities. This is very, we are delighted that we have, especially the last panel, could come to this idea, and hopefully this is a new step for a more collaboration for our universities. And then that's all for the result. And the last thing, of course, I would like to thank everybody here, for the professors, for the presenters, for those who all helped the ICONIST successful. So Prof, from everyone, like Prof Maila, Ibu Rizko, Pak Fadlan, Mas Ilham, and our two MCs. Yes, Pak Andy Aulia Garadian, please tepuk tangan for Pak Andy, ini luar biasa. Pak Andy, Pak Firman El Amni Azra, Pak Azki Al-Bantani, and especially our secretary, Pak, please come here forward. Maju dong Pak Fatudin. This is the secretary of LP2M, Pak Fathudin. Pak Ferry. Who else there? Pak Waki, and then Pak Waki. Bilkis, where is Bilkis? Bilkis. Mbak Rosa, is it? Nggak kelihatan. Ya Mbak Rosa. Everyone. We couldn't do this success without all of your helps. This is from the bottom of my heart. I mean it. Thank you so much, and also all the presenters. Without all these presentations, also this not conference. So thank you so much. I really hope that this conference become a place for us to learn a lot, to share a lot, and to engage more for the future. That's all. And with this, I declare the closing of the ICONIST, 6th ICONIST conference. Sorry? A closing first and then, is it? Okay. I declare for the closing of the 6th International Conference on Interreligious Studies, Science and Technology, ICONIST. Thank you. From Boston, Manila, Canberra to Serayu. Thank you very much on God, and God bless you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you very much, Prof. Amelia, Prof. Zulkifli, and Prof. Fernando for the heartfelt remarks. We do hope that this precious and insightful events will be sustained, for it has tremendous benefits. Respected guests, we are pleased to appreciate our exceptional presenters of the 6th ICONIST 2023 under a nomination of Best Presenters.
This kind of award had been observed starting from the first day of the ICONIST 2023. We would like to grant the Best Presenters to Ida Mujtahida from Universitas Gajah Mada. The next Best Presenter awarded to Bilkis Hoiria from Syarif Hidayatullah Jakarta. We would like to invite the best presenters. Also, we would like to invite the Honorable Professor Amelia Fauzia, MA, PhD, to give the best presenters, and Mr. Fakhruddin to give the presenters their awards.
Ladies and gentlemen, please give a round of applause for the best presenters. And the next awards for Ibu Khairiyah from UIN Syarif Hidayatullah Jakarta. May this appreciation be remarkable and be a kind support for even better and incredible researches in the future.
We notify that after the closing is over, we gladly provide dinner on the first floor for all guests and participants.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for all your kind participations, attention, and presence in the 6th ICONIST 2023.
We, as the Master of Ceremony, signing out. Thank you very much.
Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we would like to take a picture for the closing. And you may raise in your place. The cameraman will take the picture from the front. Yeah. Iya.
Bapak, Ibu, dan hadirin sekalian diharap untuk berdiri dan melaksanakan Iya. Oh ya, jadinya mohon maaf ya.
Oh, iya. Alright, everybody's in one frame on a count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Your best smile on 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Thank you very much.